Hi guys! Today we'll be taking you through the areas that you may not know house much of the Malay community of the past. Let's go!
Welcome to our first location, what was previously known as Kampung Kuchai. Fun fact, the word Kuchai stands for chives in Hokkien. The first settlers of the Kampung are actually the Orang Lauts that lived on the edge of the Singapore River that eventually migrated onto land in the early 19th century. As a result of the fire in 1958, Lorong 3 Estate, located at the end of Lorong 3, Geylang, was built in 1960 with a 60-year lease for the fire victims. Back in those days, fires were rampant and Kampung Kuchai was one of the many kampongs that suffered the same fate. Just 2 years ago, its 60-year lease expired and the 191 terrace houses sitting on that plot of land had to be demolished and reverted back to the state for future developments. This was Singapore's first residential property to have its leases expired, and many residents had to part with their homes unwillingly as living in another location just wouldn't be the same anymore. Over the years, Lorong 3 Estate experienced a shift in identity as more newcomers are living in its premises. As you can see, some of these residential developments are being converted to temples and foreign worker dormitories. Sadly, we have to bid farewell to one of these last few kampong lookalike developments, as these 191 landed terrace houses are unlike the ones that we see today. Built in 1961 in a small single-storey building located at the end of Lorong 3 Geylang, the Geylang West Community Club then was a wooden and zinc structure, was previously located at Kampong Hock Soon, which is near Kampong Kuchai. It was rebuilt at the present site in 1977 and decided to upgrade in 1995, hoping to achieve optimal use of the club and also to further strengthen community bonding. For the past 4 decades, the Geylang West Community Club has served as a prime location for community activities and helped to create and forge friendships and ties between residents. Being rich in history, it is symbolic as it may bring back kampong memories for those residents who live in Kampong Kuchai and Kampong Hock Soon.
Welcome to Eunos Spring Estate. This area actually used to be the upper part of Jalan Eunos. It was named Kampung Melayu and then renamed to Kampung Eunos after the contributions of Eunos bin Abdullah. This area actually used to be an exclusively Malay enclave where the Malays could actually farm things like coconuts and tapioca and be able to thrive within this enclave. Over here behind me actually used to be the former Jalan Eunos Quarry. During the occupation, the Japanese actually used this area as an ammunition dump and it led to the downfall of the hygiene within this area. The people who lived near the quarry actually moved down south to Joo Chiat or even Katong where the flats were actually being built. After the Japanese had moved out, the villagers in Kampung Melayu started to scavenge for any scrap metal or ammunition to sell for a few cents. This was one of the ways they had to try to earn a living. The atap houses of Jalan Eunos actually stretch all the way down to Paya Lebar. As you can see, what used to be behind me used to be the Malay Settlement General Store. It was sort of like a mama shop when the Great Depression happened, actually started to sell basic necessities to the Malay villagers at low prices. This was because during that time of the Great Depression, the government actually stopped giving a lot of funds to the Malay villagers, and then the idea of the self-help initiative had to be done by the villagers themselves. During the Great Depression, the villagers know that they only have each other to rely on, hence creating this idea of the self-help initiative introduced by Eunos bin Abdullah.
So now here at Granding Square on Gilmart Road, just a 3 minutes walk from Paya Lebar MRT station. This mall is actually situated at where Kampong Geylang Serai first started, before it moved eastwards to where it is today. This is the site of the former Queen's Theatre, and behind me is the facade of the theatre that still remains till today. The former Queen's Theatre, which opened in 1930, used to be one of the main entertainment places in Geylang Serai, and it was a hotspot for residents in the area. In its heyday, the theatre screened a wide variety of productions ranging from Indonesian and Malayan productions to Hollywood and Bollywood films, reflecting the cosmopolitan culture of the residents in the area. However, the theatre closed in 1982, and in 2000, the mall Granding Square stood in its place. Now we're at Wisma Geylang Serai, a mall cum community centre at the heart of present-day Geylang Serai. On this site previously stood the Malay Village, a cultural museum that showcased the lifestyle of local Malays before the 60s. Visitors could view traditional dances and wedding rituals and patronize shops selling handicrafts and restaurants that served authentic Malay cuisines. It opened in 1990, and after 22 years of operation, it closed in 2011, and in 2018, Wisma Geylang Serai was built on its site. Today, Wisma Geylang Serai is a hub where the Malay community gather and socialize. It also houses the Geylang Serai Heritage Gallery behind me, where one can learn about the history of the kampong here. So that concludes our tour around the Malay settlement. Be sure to check out our Instagram page in the description below.
But before you go, be sure to share your fond memories of the places that we have introduced in the video in the comments below. Till next time, bye bye!